Good morning, everyone! At the time of me writing the script, which was at the beginning of April, I had discovered that just a few weeks prior, the Descendants had struck again in what I think is their most baffling way possible. Okay, in the Wicked World web series, they introduced Jeannie's daughter, Jordan. It's actually a clever pun on the River Jordan, but that's not the point. First, they had to give her a song, though it was sang by Dove Cameron for some reason. I would have thought they were going to remix Friend Like Me. It would have made more sense, even though it would have been terrible since they did Be Our Guest in the movie. You saw how that turned out. Instead, they covered Christina Aguilera's Genie in a Bottle, which still makes a little sense, but there's two glaring issues with doing this song. First and foremost, it's not even a Disney song. Not in the slightest. Second, and most importantly, it is not a kid's song. Look, if you even have to change one line in the song to make it kid-friendly, then you need to move on from using that song. It makes it really, really awkward. Sadly, that is one of the biggest issues of today's episode. Children's shows can be very hit and miss. And this time when I say children's shows, I mean you turn on PBS to find Arthur or, Luna forbid, Caillou. The best I remember actually come from Nick Jr. And this is one case where I can honestly say the 90s shows were much better. Back then, you had the classic Blue's Clues. You had Little Bear. Anyone remember Franklin? I sure do, but we're not talking about Nick Jr. Today I make a long overdue return to the Cubo channel. Way back in my Jane and the Dragon review, I said that channel had a mix of legit good shows and piss poor bad ones. Today we get to talk about one of those shows. Ladies and gents, I introduce you to the Zula Patrol. Where most shows like this were centered around making friends and learning life lessons, the Zula Patrol actually shakes it up quite a bit and teaches scientific facts. Too bad another show on the same channel in the same time block did so with much greater success. The show's greatest downfall isn't that it doesn't know what it's talking about, it's that it treats its audience like absolute idiots. Yes, I know that toddler shows are supposed to teach kids, but there's showing kids how things work. And then there's, now put the pig into the hole, there you go, well done. That's one major aspect of this show I don't like. This episode has 3. This episode, called The Case of the Missing Rings, is, for whatever reason, a parody of Dragnet. I know I just made a point about treating kids like they're idiots, but 5-year-olds are not going to understand what Dragnet is. I'm sorry guys, this is one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to shows like this. If you can't target the kids, might as well make a nod to the parents who are roped into this schlock, right? It's one thing to reference something as classic as The Wizard of Oz, or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, because nearly every kid, at least in the US, have seen them enough to know what they are. But parodying Dragnet is sorely out of place in a kids show set in space. Hell, I just noticed that I've sat here for about 4 minutes complaining about the show and I haven't even touched the show's episode yet. So, first thing I need to say, the theme song, it actually isn't half bad.
Way, way out where the planets do the hula, spin and shout till you find yourself on Zula. Let's take off, we're all ready to roll. It's fun to learn with the Zula Patrol.
It's catchy, but it's the melody that's the catchy part. It doesn't rely on repetition too much, and for some reason, it sounds like it's parodying an old sitcom's theme, like that of Three's Company. Our team of aliens include the leader, Bula, the hot-headed Zeter, who was voiced by Nancy Cartwright, Bart Simpson of all people, the brilliant Multo, twins Lizzie and Wig, and the pet Gorgo. When I said this is a parody of Dragnet, even the show's announcer makes it painfully obvious.
The story you are about to see is completely made up. Only the science facts are true. This is The Case of the Missing Rings.
The Zula Patrol even donned trench coats to complete the awkward and kinda creepy feel of it all. Our poorly animated detectives go to the scene of the crime, a planet, Jupiter, whose rings were stolen.
Here, maybe this will help. This was taken at the last planetary pajama party.
Yes, he did just say that, and no, it doesn't get better.
We were all having such a great time playing Pin the Tail of the Glyphozoid.
Just the ring facts, please.
She said it! Get it? Because it's Dragnet! It's so undeniably Dragnet! They consult this big book of knowledge called the Multopedia.
Oh, sorry, wrong page. These are gymnastic rings.
Why is this guy impersonating the voice of the laughing uncle from Mary Poppins? They explain that the planetary rings are made of dust, rocks, and ice. Remember that! And we're suddenly taken to another planet with stolen rings. So they continued their investigation, interrogating a meteor. While they interrogate this meteoric mistake, Molto discovers that someone had just bought a planetary ring masher. I don't want to do this anymore. Okay, gotta keep blood pressure intact. In my last review, I said how Manboy is a pathetic excuse for a villain. And in my Yin Yang Yo review, I have called their villains some of the worst I've ever seen. They don't come close to how bad. No, not bad. Stupid. No, it's not stupid. Insulting these two are. These are Dark Truder and his hairpiece, Traxie. The worst villains I have ever seen. It's like they flunked out of villainy school in 1st grade. These guys are so insufferable, I'd take those goofball Scooby-Doo villains more seriously. Jesse and James are more successful and better villains than these two dumbasses. And what is their alias for this episode?
Are you Mr. I Am Guilty?
I am guilty, yeah.
You don't say! You wanna know what their master plan is? He plans to take rings from other planets and mash them down to build a fortress out of them. Rings are made of dust and rocks! I know I'm reading too much into it, but damn it, someone who buys a planetary ring masher should at the very least know what they're made of.
Sir.
Did he seem suspicious?
I got nothing anymore. I'm just going to power through the rest of this crap. They set up a stakeout near Saturn, which still has its rings, despite them pointing out that dumbass has the masher. Nope, not questioning it. They're tricked into leaving the planet because why the hell not, and find a single strand of hair complete with a barrette. Truder ends up escaping because I don't even know nor care anymore. They get the rings back, and that's the end of the case.
The story you have just seen was really, really good.
It wasn't! I've seen some terrible shows, but this one was downright insulting. And yes, I know the excuse, but it's a kid's show is probably going to come out. No, it is no excuse. Shows like this need to be put to the same standard as that of any other show out there. Not every show can be Little Bear or Blue's Clues. I'm not asking that. But could you at least have that same kind of quality? Please? With horrible storytelling, mediocre voice acting, CGI that is inconsistent among episodes, yeah, in some episodes they don't even try to match up the lip syncing, making them look more like CGI animatronics, and some of the most insulting characters I've ever seen with the worst villain I've ever seen. I really want to give the show a 2, since the theme song was good. I can't help it here. It is a 1 out of 10 from me. That was unbearable. If you watched it up to here, thank you for watching. And to whoever left before this point, hey, I cannot blame you. Join me next time and I'll show you how a scientific-minded kids show should work. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.